What's going on there, guys? Earthmaster here, checking in on this November 28th, 2020, Saturday evening, about 9 p.m. West Coast time here in California, taking a look at the Earthquake 3D globe. Shows the latest quake on the map over here, a 4.9 striking on this side of the globe over here, opposite of where I'm at, over in Iran. Pretty good sized earthquake out there. Not a super large earthquake, but definitely some shaking going on out there in the desert area of Iran. As far as the rest of the globe goes, looks pretty mellow for the most part. We'll take a look at the activity that's going on over here in the USGS map here, over here, United States. Alaska region showing some activity. Of course, this is the 2.5 and above. We do need to add the all magnitudes once again. And take a look at the activity dwindling down for the most part up here in the Gulf of Alaska along the Aleutian Trench area. Did see a 4.6 out there earlier today. Overall activity seems to diminish. It seems to be diminishing out there. And for the most part, the same can be said out here in Southern California as well. Had a little earthquake. These guys, the news media, as soon as they get like a 2.3. News media in Los Angeles area. Did you guys feel it? There was an earthquake in Los Angeles, a 2.3. It's like, oh my gosh, really? Really? It's a little bit on the cringy side. Really cringy, I would say, for news media to throw out a major news report for a 2.3 magnitude earthquake there. Give me a break. Come on. When it comes to an 8.0 earthquake, then you might be able to get on and stir some news media, but you guys probably won't have internet out there when the 8.0 hits, so there'll be no mention of it aside from faraway reports. Oceanside, man, 0.9 earthquake out there at 15 kilometers below the surface. Nothing really, folks, to even mention about out here. It's just it's a waste of time to mention something so small out there in that area, unless we're seeing the swarming. Unless we're seeing swarming out there in the microquake range in Los Angeles, I wouldn't say that that's anything to worry about right now. Idaho, seeing a little. Idaho's kind of like the star of the chart right now, seeing a little bit of uptick in earthquake activity. 2.7 being the largest out there in that cluster of quakes out there. Once again, northeast of the Sawtooth Mountains out there, Sawtooth Fault Range. Some activity up there around the Helena, Montana area as well. And also west of Mount Rainier. No earthquake activity to report at the summit of Mount St. Helens or Mount Rainier or any Pacific Northwest volcano. And that includes Northern California as well. You can see Lassen Peak well over here. Small little earthquake out there around Chester. Man, this bird. You guys hear that bird in the background? That's my parakeet. My lone soldier parakeet. He's just kind of hanging out there. What else we got here, folks? Around the globe, let's back out a little bit here on the USGS map. Like I said, pretty quiet. Not a whole lot of activity going on. It's very, very quiet. Earthquake activity in the Big Island of Hawaii. Not a whole lot to report. Only a couple small microquakes out there around the Kilauea volcano. And also down here along the southeastern side of the Big Island. A couple small quakes out there in the 2 range. Seen a 3-pointer out there as well to the north. But other than that, activity pretty quiet. Yellowstone National Park, we can say the same thing. Nothing really to report as far as any kind of earthquake activity. Maybe a little spike. You guys see that little spike right there on this little West Thumb and also Pitchstone Plateau. That distinct spike of an earthquake right there is a localized earthquake, very close to the seismograph stations that are picking up this earthquake here. Not showing up on the faraway stations, so this tells me that it's pretty much under a 2.0 earthquake. The USGS not reporting anything yet. When it comes to the earthquake activity up there. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It just depends on when they want to. right? But as far as the activity goes, they have not reported that little spike of an earthquake that I showed you guys. Far as trimmer, let's go ahead and check this out real quick. Today's the 28th, no doubt, and I did have some problems earlier accessing the live, or at least the recent trimmer map in the Pacific Northwest, and apparently that looks the same tonight. Far as the accessing the data today, nothing. I mean, they mentioned here something went wrong. Please try again, or send us an email at this obvious website right here. We'll go ahead and refresh the page. Obviously, it's not working. Something going on. Come on, PNSN, get with the network there. As far as yesterday's earthquake activity goes, you've seen the activity there in southern Oregon. Pretty big sunspot out there. Really big sunspot. Check out that beauty. That is a absolute beauty of a sunspot. This would be awesome if we're about a couple years in the future, where we're seeing some major sunspots out here crackling with M flares and potential X flares. I mean, I absolutely love solar activity. But this is a pretty good size one for being coming out of the minimum, the solar minimum. Not going to go into a whole bunch of minimum, maximum details, but this sunspot here is called AR2786. It's the biggest sunspot in years. That's why I said coming out of the minimum. We've been in a solar minimum there for a couple years. So this is a pretty spectacular sun spot to witness out here. Everyone is starting to notice something. The sunspot appears to be cracking up. Far as the potential for solar flare activity right now, we're looking just at a 15% Class M flare potential over the next 24 to 48 hours. X flare, highly unlikely, but that would be pretty awesome to witness, no doubt. I'll keep a very close eye on it. Only at 1% for Class X. As we get closer to the solar maximum, these flares are going to be all over the sun, and it's going to be a beauty. And if you are into skip or solar, or not solar, I should say, CB radio, ham radio, any type of ultra high, very high frequency transmissions, skip comes in. Everyone knows about skip. If you don't, check it out. Skip is an old buddy of mine, so to speak. Skip is basically some very, oh man, I don't want to really go too much into it, but if you know about CB radios, ham radio, you know what skip means. So we'll discuss that another night. But you can see that beauty of a sunspot right there. Oh my gosh, it's absolutely glorious right there. I cannot wait for solar maximum. Hopefully I live that long. We're looking here in a few years. But this is an obvious good sign that we're getting out of the minimum, the solar minimum, and working our way towards a beautiful solar maximum coming up here. I believe solar activity plays a major part in activity here on Earth, and that includes weather, plate tectonics, volcanoes, all that stuff. The sun plays a major role in activity and what's going on here on Earth. That is undeniable. So we will see what this sunspot has to bring for us. Like I said, once again, covering the... Let's go ahead and check out Solar Ham real quick. These guys are another awesome website to check out when it comes to solar activity. Various graphs to look at. As far as the current solar flare threat, C-flare, these guys are obviously mentioning a 60% chance of C-flare. You've seen that. You've seen how big that sunspot was. That's an obvious. M-flare 15%, and as mentioned, X-flare only at 1%. So, man, I tell you what, it'd be nice to see at least an M-flare. All right, folks, I'm out of here. Please stay safe. Have a good night. It is Saturday night, kind of crazy out there. Little spike of an earthquake showing up there on Southern California near San Diego. I don't see nothing yet on the graphs, but it's definitely there showing up on the stations there. Nothing big at all. Just probably, I'm guessing maybe a 2-pointer at least there around the San Diego area. So, all right, guys, have a good night. Please stay safe out there. It's Saturday night. It's so crazy why people. I don't understand why people go crazy on Saturday night. Peace out.